A great deal of fanfare ushered in what was supposed to be a $146 million film studio and school in Allen Park late last summer. Less than a year later, and despite lucrative tax deals from the state, Unity Studios could be in jeopardy, reportedly over unpaid rent and lax financial reporting by studio executives. Michigan's West Side saw similar excitement over another new film studio project announced in early February. But information has surfaced that raises serious questions about the state's use of tax subsidies for this project.
In Grand Rapids, it's Hangar 42 Film Studios.
In her final State of the State address, Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm referred to this site in the Grand Rapids suburb of Walker. The property is a former Lear plant bought by Jack Buchanan and his father in 2006. Just days after the governor's speech this year, Buchanan told the Mackinac Center investors plan to spend at least $40 million to turn the property into a film studio.
This room you're standing in is about 265,000 square feet, and then it has adjacent rooms on the other side. So they're finishing work on the other side of that wall, and there's about 35,000 square feet on the other side of this wall.
Buchanan also said tax incentives moved the Hangar 42 deal forward.
The whole building is about 750,000 square feet. So really to take that building and put it back in a productive use took a lot of tax incentives to make it viable.
Buchanan is referring in part to the investment group's application for a 25% refundable tax credit from the state through the Michigan Film Incentive Program. With a price tag of at least $40 million, the end result could mean a cash refund of $10 million or more out of the state's general fund. What's curious, however, is that the property was listed the day before the governor's State of the State address for less than $10 million. And right now, the Hangar 42 property is still listed for sale on the company's website for nowhere near $40 million, raising the prospect that the refund could be worth more than the actual property itself. Then there's the state tax subsidy. Officials with the Michigan Film Office confirmed an application was submitted for Hangar 42, but the state had yet to sign off on the deal. Neither the Film Office nor its parent agency, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, offered any explanation for the holdup. Mackinac Center Fiscal Policy Director Michael Lefebvre believes the center's own questions could have pushed the state to take a closer look at the deal.
Important questions that we believe raised red flags at the Michigan Film Office, at the MEDC, and even among other parties to the transaction that have compelled the state to slow down its approval process.
There is also speculation that financing may not be secure, though in February, Buchanan insisted investors were lining up.
How many people are involved in the investment group?
It's a little over 5 investors, and there's more that are looking at it.
The state may be understandably skittish about giving out millions of dollars. That after the state approved a refundable tax credit to a convicted embezzler who, in an April announcement with the governor, promised to build a renewable energy plant in Flint.
A convicted felon and a con man who served prison time for embezzlement gets $9 million in state tax breaks.
In the meantime, the problems may just be starting for Buchanan and Hangar 42 Studios. The Mackinac Center has learned several contractors have not been paid for work completed at the site. There are at least 6 legal claims against Buchanan so far this year, including one lien for nearly $250,000. Lefebvre says all of these stories should serve as cautionary tales.
With $20 to $50 billion or more a year sloshing around these economic development programs at state and local units of government across the country, we have to recognize that the incentives are such that they will induce people with little or no legitimate business claims to try and get something for nothing.